Imagine a future where the American dream is but a distant memory, a relic of a time when hope and prosperity were within reach for all. Now it's overshadowed by grief and disillusion, a world where the air is thick and suffocating, where the seas rise to consume our shores, and where the very essence of life becomes a daily struggle. The once vibrant landscapes are now marred by pollution and decay, reflecting the sadness and despair of a nation. This is the America we could be heading towards under a second term of Donald Trump, an era marked by environmental neglect, disregard for scientific consensus, and widespread dissent. In the last 4 years, we have witnessed the rollback of environmental protections and the dismissal of climate science. The voices of concerned scientists and activists have been drowned out by the clamour of industrial interests, leaving many disillusioned and grieving for the future. Trump's policies have favoured fossil fuels over renewable energy, leading to increased carbon emissions and accelerated global warming. The promise of clean energy has been overshadowed by the relentless pursuit of short-term gains, deepening the sense of loss and disillusionment. The consequences are not just predictions of a distant future. They're unfolding right before our eyes, manifesting in ways that are both alarming and undeniable, causing widespread grief and sorrow. They are unfolding right before our eyes in the form of melting ice caps, deforestation, and the displacement of communities, leaving behind a trail of grief and despair. Extreme weather events have become more frequent and more severe, leaving a trail of destruction and grief in their wake. Wildfires rage across the West, turning forests into ashes and homes into memories. The once lush landscapes are now charred and barren, reflecting the deep sorrow of those affected. Hurricanes batter the Gulf Coast with unprecedented ferocity, leaving destruction and despair in their wake. Communities are left to pick up the pieces, often with little support, feeling abandoned and disillusioned. Floods devastate the Midwest, washing away livelihoods and hope. Farmlands that once fed the nation are now submerged underwater, leaving behind a sense of grief and loss. This is our new reality, one that will only worsen if action is not taken. The signs of distress are everywhere, from the protests in the streets to the desolate landscapes that were once thriving, reflecting the widespread disillusionment. But it's not just the environment that suffers. The ripple effects of climate change extend far beyond the natural world, deepening the sense of grief and disillusionment. Trump's economic policies could lead to increased costs of living. As resources become scarcer, prices for basic necessities like food and healthcare could soar, causing widespread grief and disillusionment. Deregulation of industries might boost corporate profits, but it often comes at the expense of public health and safety. The air we breathe and the water we drink are compromised, leading to a rise in health issues and a deep sense of disillusionment. Prices for basic necessities like food and healthcare could soar, making it harder for everyday Americans to get by. The strain on families is palpable as they struggle to make ends meet, feeling abandoned and disillusioned. Imagine an America where clean water is a luxury, where the air you breathe carries the risk of disease, and where the cost of living forces families into poverty. The gap between the rich and the poor widens, creating a society of haves and have-nots, deepening the sense of grief and disillusionment. This is not a dystopian fiction, it is a potential reality. A reality that we must strive to avoid at all costs to prevent further grief and disillusionment. The international community watches as the United States retreats from global climate agreements, isolating itself as the world moves towards sustainability. Our once strong alliances are strained, and our leadership on the global stage is questioned, causing widespread disillusionment. Our allies grow weary, and our global influence wanes, leaving us vulnerable and isolated on the world stage. The decisions we make now will have lasting impacts on our position in the world, deepening the sense of grief and disillusionment. The choices we make now will determine our future. We stand at a crossroads, with the power to shape the direction we take, to either deepen our grief and disillusionment or to find hope and resolve. Will we continue down this path of destruction, or will we take a stand for our planet and our people? The answer lies in our collective will to act, to overcome our grief and disillusionment. The time to act is now before it's too late. The urgency of the situation cannot be overstated as we strive to overcome our grief and disillusionment. As we stand at this precipice, it's crucial to remember that hope is not lost. There is still time to change course and build a better future, to overcome our grief and disillusionment. The power to change our destiny lies within us. By coming together and making our voices heard, we can drive the change we need, overcoming our grief and disillusionment. By making informed decisions and holding our leaders accountable, we can steer our nation towards a brighter, more sustainable future. The solutions are within our reach if we have the courage to pursue them, overcoming our grief and disillusionment. The story of America is one of resilience and determination. We have faced great challenges before, and we have overcome them through unity and perseverance. Overcoming our grief and disillusionment. We have faced great challenges before, and we have overcome them. Our history is filled with examples of triumph over adversity, overcoming our grief and disillusionment. But we must act now with urgency and resolve to protect the world we call home. The stakes have never been higher, and the need for action has never been more pressing, as we strive to overcome our grief and disillusionment. This is a call to action, a plea for a future where our children can breathe clean air, drink pure water, and live in harmony with the planet. A future where the American dream is not just a memory, but a reality for all, overcoming our grief and disillusionment. The choice is ours, and the time is now. We have the power to shape our destiny and create a world that we can be proud to pass on to future generations, overcoming our grief and disillusionment. Thank you for watching.